Proud of our effort from the start, and I think now that's 2 back-to-back just really dominant defensive performances, and that's again when we're defending like that, it just, I've said it, I think we can play with anyone in the country when we are defending and rebounding, and then we can get out. And I thought we did a great job against the zone, which we've struggled against their zone the last 2 years. So just much improved really this whole year against zone. We've had a lot of practice against it, and just overall great team win. Obviously a huge night for KB, and really proud of her and her setting the school record. Just unbelievable, and so happy for her and all of her hard work and what she does. I thought she'd beat it, and then I took her out for the rest of it. So I told her, not many times in the Big Ten can we have your starters sitting, on the bench in the fourth, and especially with this tough week coming up with 2-day preps, going to Rutgers, going to Maryland. It was really nice to be able to get them some rest too.
Raise your hands and get your microphone for questions for our student athletes.
KB, I just heard you kind of maybe talking on the radio just about how, you felt like rebounding could be something that you really owned and took ownership of. What kind of led to that, and what's this kind of record mean to you that you now kind of circle that as one of the things you want to accomplish?
Yeah, I feel like when I first got here, I was not like super confident offensively and super, I just didn't have my rhythm yet in college basketball, and so I feel like rebounding was, obviously I was a starter at that point, but I feel like rebounding was a way I could maintain that without having to like score a lot and still be able to work on it. And then I realized I was kind of good at it, and then I'm like, okay, like I think this is achievable. And it really wasn't until my junior year when I was kind of like, if I stay on track, like I can get this. But it's really cool. It's something that you've wanted for so long, and you think about every single game, and like I'm keeping track, and I'm like, I want this. And rebounding, I don't think enough people appreciate rebounding, and I think it's something that I really take into my heart, and I love to do it, and it helps the team.
Kendall, can you walk us through the emotions of the moment that you get it and the crowd's going nuts and the Orange Crush is doing its thing?
I mean, it was really cool. I kind of held it for a second just to kind of like take it in, and then running back down the court and realizing that the whole arena is chanting your name is a moment that like I think I got goosebumps. Like I won't forget that. And the Orange Crush with their little board and like the little countdown on it, like whatever they were doing was awesome. And just the band, like everyone supporting me, and people are in the stands yelling, "No, 2 more, 1 more." But it's really cool to have a fan base that backs an athlete like that. And I think, there's a lot of athletes here that would say the same. But it's just like, I'm really happy. It's kind of a relief. I feel like there's a little bit less pressure, just kind of off, because, that's something that I've wanted. It's a personal goal. So now I feel even more relaxed than I already am playing.
I mean, Dad, you've been here with Kendall the whole time. When did you kind of know, like, hey, maybe she's really good at this particular thing?
My freshman year, I knew right away. I'm so grateful that I get to play with KB. She's a great player and great teammate. She's great at what she does, and yeah, I love her. But I'm really proud of her. I'm not surprised. She works so hard, and she's just really good at rebounding. So good job.
Over there first.
So for either of you, from the outsider's perspective, it seems like there's a ton of momentum, 2 huge wins. Is there anything either of you have picked up in these past 2 games that you're looking forward to bringing with you on the road?
I think our starts. I think our last couple games, especially on the road, we've had really, really good starts, and that's something I feel like when we punch first and punch early, like we have the momentum the whole game, and we're just more responsive to their punches. I feel like at Michigan State, they kind of got the start, and then we're playing catch up the whole game. So I think just going out, especially to 2 really good, really physical teams, kind of getting that punch in the first quarter.
And defense. Coach Green always says defense travels, so we keep it with us, and our defense is how we win games, and that's what we hang our hat on.
Sorry, Kendall, just one more about, I guess how you had that moment with your parents, and
Yeah.
I think rebounding was something you and your dad probably focused on a
Yes.
lot. What was that like to kind of have that and be here for that and kind of achieve all that with them?
I mean, my goal was to do it at home at some point. The last game my mom wasn't able to go to because of weather. She's like, "You better not do it at Northwestern." I'm like, "I won't." But it's just cool, like their support of me, and then being able to, having my dad be a coach in high school, and that was something he's always, you gotta rebound, you gotta box out, you gotta board. So just having them here for that, it's huge. They have sacrificed a lot for me to be where I am today. So being able to do that for them and with them here is just huge, and they're my biggest supporters, so.
Kind of going into the game, I'm sure you're thinking a lot about moving into obviously the #1 spot for the program in rebounds. Were you thinking at all about how close you were moving into third all time for Big Ten rebounds?
I actually found that out last game. I had no idea that was even a thing. Yeah, I definitely that was on my mind, but I was more focused on the game at that point, just making sure we got a good start and then kind of settling into it. And I feel like once we had the lead that we did, I was able to kind of like chill and just kind of find my way in there. But I think it was only 2 coming into the game, so I knew I would get that one, but I'm happy with both.
Dale, Shauna kind of talked about just, maybe expanding your game, working on your pull-up and your 3-point. What's kind of gone into that progress for you, and maybe how you've seen teams approach you different defensively now that you've been able to show those things?
Yeah, I appreciate Coach Green for believing in me and the confidence she put in me. She just told me to get in the gym, and shout out to that gun, right? The shooting gun.
The gun works.
But just getting a lot of reps and just building my confidence, and being a 3-level scorer is something that I want to be, and you gotta guard me. Even if you play off me, I'm still gonna be aggressive. So.
Y'all see those threes now.
Yeah,
Watch out.
But I'm just having more confidence in practice and just reading the game and being free. And I feel like something that I used to do with threes, just I wouldn't think about it, just wasn't confident. But now I'm just letting it fly. And y'all see me. But yeah.
For both of you, Dal, if you could start, what's clicked for you guys defensively in the last couple of weeks?
I would just say a shift in mindset, really just taking pride in it. I feel like Coach Green prepares us well, but honestly, communication on defense, just doing the little things, and it starts at practice. I feel like in practice we're just really connected and be on the same page, and we prepare at a high level. So just having that transfer to the game is showing, and it means a lot. But just the mindset, we want to guard, right? Not everybody wants to play defense, but we love defense. We want to play it, and it's fun when you do it.
Yeah, I think we've just kind of taken that and that mindset, especially after the IU game, and we've kind of seen how defense can fuel our offense. And a lot of people say, "Oh, don't let your offense dictate your defense," but I think we've seen a huge impact on our defense, affecting our offense in a good way. We're out getting steals, we're running Phoenix, we're rebounding the ball. They're not getting a lot of second chance points. So I think it's just really been critical for us, and then carrying that over. It's just a mindset thing. It's all on us. We have to do what we have to do. There's no excuses for not carrying it over.
KB, you said after your first year here, you still weren't super, confident offensively. What changed in that? What flipped for you? I know after the first year, there's a coaching change. Shauna shows up. There's a new system. So what allowed you to kind of be more a complete player?
I feel like just the work that the staff has put into me, and kind of the confidence that they have in me to be able to do what I do. And just kind of, I think, getting with Coach Cat and Coach Ryan, I feel like Coach Ryan, I was really able to solidify my inside game. I was really able to kind of, get the footwork, get the steals, even the post defense kind of stuff. I feel like I was really able to solidify that. And then with Coach Cat coming in, I feel like I was really able to kind of solidify the outside game and feel a little more comfortable out there, because I feel like, that first year I was still really only comfortable in the post. But I feel like I've been able to expand it, and it benefits the team. And you see people coming to double, and people are open. So I just think, just seeing it kind of increase through the years has been kind of cool.
Everybody good for student athletes?
They can't.
You're only in the third of the Big Ten, so there's room to grow still. Thank you guys so much. All right, go ahead and raise your hand and we'll get you a microphone. Any questions for Coach Green?
Coach, I believe broadcast said it was the fewest points Illinois ever given up in a Big Ten game, I guess. Third. I guess what went into that against a team that has really had your number defensively over the past 2 years?
Well, like I said, I just think with the confidence that we're continuing to build defensively, I think, we've defended pretty well all year, but the last couple games, even going back to Indiana, just really locked in terms of personnel, game plan, and then just playing with the elite good things are gonna happen. It's something that we talk about all the time, like we demand it, the standard's very high here in order, I mean, you defend and you rebound, and if you're not doing that, it's gonna be hard for you to play. So I think that's a number one thing. It's always been, you know, defend, rebound, run. That's our core values. So, and when you get a team that starts believing and seeing that, hey, this can be the key to success, then it gets really fun to watch them go out there and execute it. So, like they said, it's a mindset, it's effort, and it's hard. It's hard to defend at that level, that intensity. For 40 minutes, but I could not be more proud that we're doing it. We're just executing right now on the defensive end.
Shauna, you obviously had, when you were in college, your own all-time record, so like Kendall talked about thinking about that a lot. Like, what's that like when you are kind of chasing that and are trying to compartmentalize that in the course of a year?
I don't even remember that. I'm too old. I don't remember what it felt like or anything. I was concussed half the time I played, so I don't really remember. You know, I don't know. I think that now it's so different too nowadays because of social media, and you know, you're constantly being like told all these things, and where we didn't have that. So she's handled it great, all of it. Like, she just goes out there and plays, and like we always say, if you do, you know, that the process is gonna equal outcomes, and she's just such a process-driven kid. She works her butt off every day. You get rebounds every day. You're going to end up breaking records along the way. So, but I didn't know that either about the Big Ten. And when I was rewatching the Northwestern game, they had that graphic up there, and I was like, I mean, that's crazy. It's Lavender. It's Megan Gustafson from Iowa, I think, are the two in front of her. Those kids are 6'5", 6'4", like. And for KB to be right there, and she had Jenna Smith was under her too. So, and that's pretty good company in terms of it. So I hope she gets that. I don't know what she needs to get the Big Ten one, but just super proud that she got this one.
120 for the Big Ten one.
You
guys do the math, see if she can do that, get that this year.
You referenced just the process-oriented person that she is, and she talked about it, you know, just sort of that process of, you know, making rebounding something that you would own. Just what's that process look like for her to get to this moment, and maybe led to her being able to be that successful?
You know, first off, like, just some people just have a knack for rebounding, and then if you put in like awareness and being very intentional of doing it, it's why she's elite at it. But she also just has a knack of, like, you know, I told her last year, I was on her all the time about boxing out, because I went, KB, you get like 13 rebounds a game. If you box out, you can get 15, 16 a game. So, you know, just her never being satisfied, and her work ethic and her determination, and just like setting a goal and just fighting like hell to reach that. That's just who she is as a person and everything that she does. You can talk about how she's progressed as a scorer. You know, she's not just a rebounder. She's not just an inside player. I mean, now she is a player that can do a variety of things, that can score at all three levels, and is one of the best rebounders in the country, and one of the best rebounds, obviously, in the Big Ten ever by those numbers. But that's crazy to think about. Again, at 6'1" on a good day. That's absolutely amazing to me.
Not for nothing, but 2 games, you mentioned this, where you got to go to your bench and one, get them probably pretty valuable minutes, and 2, rest. Like, what can that realistically do for a team that's running 6 or 7 players?
I think it's huge. It's really, really important, and that doesn't happen a lot in the Big Ten. And now to have 2 back-to-back where literally, I don't know, I mean, KB was out, you know, the whole 4th. I think a lot of our starters were out the whole 4th, but also being able to get Haven some really good minutes, because she was sick at Northwestern, which was unfortunate, because she would have got a lot of minutes there. And I thought she did. I was really impressed, you know, but that's, again, she goes up every day against Nick, our GA, and Nick's super athletic and quick, and, you know, he'll score on her, and sometimes she can get frustrated, but now it paid off, because these girls weren't as quick as what he is. So being able to get her minutes, even, you know, Irene some more minutes, Mia, and then Corey, you know, playing now 20 minutes and 20 some the other night. It's just, you know, Barry's been getting a ton of minutes, but, you know, she got 16 points and ran a lot of stuff to her late. All that experience is huge. And rest is probably the most important thing right now going into the stretch we have.
Just another game, Jim quietly has 13. Like, how is that developing game over game with her as a point guard? Even look at her turnovers, I'm sure it's not high.
Yeah, she had 1. I mean, and super efficient tonight. 5 for 6, 3 for 3 from 3, 13 points, 3 assists, 1 turnover. I think she's just really starting to find a rhythm and really starting to just play like the game's slowing down for her, and she just is playing so controlled and scoring when she can and when she needs to, but then also really facilitating and running the team. And the last couple of weeks, she's just, I think, continued to up her game, and tonight was another just great performance for her. And sometimes gets a little overlooked because some of the other stuff, but she is, man, she's doing so much for us right now, and she's defending. So again, being able to get her at only 24 minutes is key as we go into this final stretch too.
Sean, when you did your homework on this team before you took this job and you looked at KB, I think a lot of coaches would have said, 6-foot post, that's not going to work. Not in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like you and Ryan really kind of poured into her that this was going to work and this was going to happen for her. Like, how did you get to that point?
Because we recruited her hard at Dayton, and I got told no by her 2 times. So I knew exactly what she could do. I recruited her first time, she told us no. Then I recruited her when she left Michigan State, she told us no. So then I just decided to follow her and track her down, and she had no choice. So I was going to coach her one way or another. But so I knew exactly what she could do. I've watched that kid play in high school more times than a lot of kids, and Ryan was the lead recruiter on her. So we knew exactly what she was capable of. And we knew, and I'll never forget, because the first time, I think I've told you guys this before, as soon as we got here, in one of our first few meetings, I went, KB, you need to be a double-double kid. Like, I know you're rebounding. I think she averaged like 6 points. There's no way you should be only averaging 6 points. So, and then she did the work, and she, Ryan and then now Kat have done an unbelievable job with her. They deserve a lot of that credit because they're the ones in there with the film session. They're the ones in there working on her game. In the gym, just those 2, and she's been, I said it, the last 2 years, I even more so than that first year, I just think she's been so open and willing to learn, and so coachable, and just like a sponge wanting to continue to get better, and now she's literally doing everything out there for us.
Sean, I know you kind of talked about going into the previous game, just the 3-pointers and maybe feeling like you've been shooting the ball better tonight to have 8 and 19. Just what you maybe see that led to that success that you had tonight?
Joe, they're coming very organically. They're not like out of sets. Some are out of sets against the zone, but otherwise they came tonight, and what they've been, the ones we're making, they're coming from just really sharing the ball. I think we've been sharing the ball and playing super connected really for the last couple of weeks. And the last 2 games, we've had a ton of assists. There was a couple possessions tonight that were just really beautiful basketball, where we're passing up a really good shot for a great shot. And I think that's where you see how connected this team is. And when you're connected, it helps offensively. But I think that's where you're seeing some of our success also defensively. They're very together. There's just a sense of, I don't even know how to describe it. You can almost feel the connectiveness in them just by being around them.
It's just the obligatory Dow. Like, she's hitting those 3 just more than just a one-off at this point with her. Like, why is that? What have you seen? She talked about the confidence, but what have you seen from her that's allowing that to translate to games?
I think reps. She said with the shooting gun, I told you guys that during break, we really put an emphasis. They all had their time in the gym where they had to get in and get a certain amount of shots up, and reps lead to confidence. Confidence leads to success, and now she has a great deal of confidence in it, and I have confidence in her. Last year, there was times when she shot it, I'd be like, no. Now I'm like, yes, I feel like it's going in all the time, and when you play with confidence, that basket gets a lot bigger. So I want her to continue to shoot those. And then, teams are going to, at some point, have to start making an adjustment on it.